All right, notifications are going out, and you are realizing that your sister is on. Happy Monday. If you are listening to the replay, thank you. If this is your first time, welcome. Let me tell you, once you come in to this experience, you're always considered family. Once you're in on the journey with me, it's a wrap. You're stuck with me. It is what it is. There's no getting around it. I want you to understand and know that. I'm excited because I do not take this opportunity that I have with you guys lightly. I do not. No, I don't. I do not. I'm excited. Hey, Vanessa. Hey, my boo. How are you? Hey, Steve. Good morning to you. I am, as always, you guys are, I'm excited. You know that by now. Come on in. Tell me hello. Let me know that you're in. Hello, Dominique, my queen. How are you? Yeah, all right, YouTube. Facebook is outdoing you right now. So I'm so excited, man. I have not been able to shake this, so I've been trying to hurry up so I can get some time to come on here really, really quickly and share with you guys because I'm pumped. I can't shake this enthusiasm to share this with you. Hello, Denise. Hey, my sister. There go YouTube representing today. I'm excited because I don't know if you guys were able to read the caption, but it's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? I couldn't shake that. I couldn't shake that question, right? That question that I pose to myself and that I want to pose to you as well. What are we doing? What are we doing? Just, I know, just let it sit for a second. I want you to understand, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? So, one of the things that I do understand is that, throughout this time, we get excited about motivating ourselves, right? We wake up, we've had our coffee, we've done our workout, or we got out on the right side of the bed, as they say, like we're excited, we're energetic, right? We're ready to take on the day. And we get into the groove of things, whether you get to the office and you're smiling and you're high fiving, or you turn on your computer. For some of us who are working from home from time to time, you open up your computer, you start firing off those emails, you're feeling really, really good. But what happens when things shift, right? What happens when that fire, that excitement, that flame you had, that a whole burst of energy, where did it go? What happens when that kind of dwindles down? What do you do to kind of hold on to those things or to that thing to keep you pushing throughout the day? Well, God wants me to expand that, not just for the day, but let's just start setting the mood on what the week is going to look like. And so that's where the question came in. What are we doing? What are we doing this week? What is that thing that is going to continue to push and drive us to accomplish or hit certain things this week? What are we going to do to keep ourselves focused? If you guys remember last week, I shared that with you about how we got to focus, how we got to have tunnel vision, put those blinders up, put those, those dividers, we got to stay focused on what's in front of us. And so one of the things that I'm being intentional starting today, because I don't want to lose, I don't want this fire to go out. So we have to be very intentional of pushing ourselves, stretching ourselves. It's just like working out, going to the gym. We'll have a kick butt time in the gym on one day or 2 days back to back, right? But then when it comes to that third day, we kind of lose the juice. But we have to push ourselves into the gym. We have to push ourselves to do what we had set out what we're going to do. If you said, you know what, I'm going to clean out my closet and I'm going to do it tomorrow. Well, when tomorrow comes and you're feeling kind of sluggish, are you going to complete the task, or are we going to make excuses and say, you know what, I'll do that later? And sometimes we find ourselves asking God or asking questions or being our feelings like, well, why is this not happening in my life? Well, have you ever thought the reason why it's not happening in your life is because we continue to put it off? Oh my God, that's a whole word. And I know it's in one of the books in the Bible. I know it is. I felt that. we put it off, and we're like asking God, when is it my turn? When is this going to happen? What's going on? And not understanding, because we continue to put off things, we are actually the ones that's causing the delay. So I want to help push you. I want to help tell you that whatever it is that you're setting your mind to this week, I want you to do it. I want you to don't focus on a whole bunch of things. I just want you to focus on that one thing that you want to conquer today. And then I want you to do the next day. And I'm not telling you anything that I'm not going to be doing myself, because I got all excited and fired up, and I'm just like, well, okay, but what am I doing? Okay, well, how am I going to do this? How am I going to apply this? And I'm like, Tamika, focus on one thing this week. Hello, April. Hey, my YouTube family. So I just want to push you, like I'm pushing myself right now. Tamika, focus on that one thing that you want to knock out the box. And that one thing that I want God to help me with. That one thing I'm putting before him. Not saying I don't have a lot of things going on, but I want to zero in on this one thing to be successful in. This one thing that I'm like, okay, God, you know what? I'm totally going to trust you on this, with this thing this day, and allow some things to grow in me, even in our perspective, how we see ourselves. Can we accomplish it? Can I do it? Have you ever thought that maybe, just maybe, that the outcome that you're looking for, you hold it? And it's all in how we approach things. It's all in what we see, and how we handle situations, and even handle ourselves. Because I'm a prime example. I don't handle myself all great, and that's something that I had to learn. I had to learn how to handle me better. I can handle everybody else's business. Child, you need something done, hand it over to me. I will do it. And you will praise me, and you will say thank you and all of this stuff. But when it comes to me, I'm horrible. I am absolutely horrible. So when I am being very intentional of asking God to help me, because I know it's an issue. Also, me being intentional with giving the same effort. Hey, Mel, giving the same effort that I give to other things, even to myself. The same thing, the same energy that I give to people, I need to make sure that I'm giving it to my family. The same energy that I'm giving in one area, I need to make sure that even in a close, important area in my life, I'm giving that same energy, if not more. Like, we got to learn how to be able to spread things out amongst our lives, and making sure that we're executing it in a manner of excellence that is going to give us the results in our personal life. I had to check myself the other day. How are you kicking butt in this area for something that not totally, it got something to do with you, but does it? But you're lacking in another. And I hope I'm making sense to someone, because I feel that, we're good at handling everybody else's business, but when it comes to our own, we're horrible. I used this example about a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, whatever. And I shared it with a friend of mine, and I said, those of us who are experts, or call ourselves experts, or are good at in a certain thing, we can help everybody else. But then you look back at ourselves in that area, and we're horrible. And I gave an example. No shade. I absolutely loved her when I watched TV, because I don't watch a lot of TV. But there's a lady who, I don't know if you guys remember. I don't know if it was on E! or Bravo. I don't know. Anyway, she used to hook up millionaires, right? Like, send them out on dates, coach them through their personal lives, right? And, excuse me, she had a lot of successes. But when it came to boo-boos on life, she was single, never been married. Like, I can't even think of her name, but she was a sweetheart. But when it came to her, she couldn't, she wasn't getting it. She wasn't doing it. Like, I remember I was excited for her when I read years ago that she was engaged, but she didn't get married. Like, I called off the engagement. I don't know if it was even a year. And I just thought about her, like I said, several weeks ago, and I was like, Lord, why is it that we are like that? Like, we could be so good for other people, and we can like so hit it, you know what I'm saying, hit on it for others. But then when it comes to ourselves in that area, we're trash. In the words of my son, excuse, like, don't let it offend you. That's like a little slang that they use in the gaming world. You know, I mean, but that's honest. Like we're trash when it comes to it. We're like, okay, we could tell other people to do it, but when it comes to ourselves, we're garbage. We're not hitting the mark. And so what I asked God was, I'm like, listen, I in those areas that I am good at in help, for others, help me to be good in those areas or that area for myself. Like I don't want to always deplete myself or allow myself to miss out on great things because I ain't good at taking my own like advice. I could put the plan out for everybody else. I can help you, make an event successful, but when it comes to my own, I ain't got no motivation. And that's so backwards. Yes, God made us to serve people and kingdom and all of that great stuff. Use the gifts that He's given us to bless others. Absolutely. But I'm gonna tell you something. He don't want you missing out on how great you are. Those same gifts that you also have, you can so apply them to what it is that He wants you to do and how He wants you to be better and how He wants you to grow and how He wants you to be great. Like, listen, there has to be balance. I mean, all day, every day. You have to find that space where you matter and insert yourself in that space. Everybody's Sabbath is different, right? It's not always on a Sunday. It's not always on a Saturday. It could be any day of the week that you know that you can shut down and just give yourself some time. And some people have inserted hours of Sabbath here and there, so they make it 24 hours. However you design it, we need to take out that time where we can focus on whatever it is that God wants us to do. It's not just to bless other people, it's also to bless yourself as well. Like you are blessed because of these things that you carry. And this amazing smile that you give to others, but you can't even give it to yourself. What? That's great. That is ludicrous. Listen, listen, Linda, come on. And if it is a Linda, listen to me. Hey, girl. But listen, what I want you to understand is that's just like you can't help somebody with their finances and help them invest and make money, and you ain't got no money. That's backwards. It's backwards. We can't. So I'm pushing you as like I'm pushing myself. Like, hello, welcome. You're inside of my head, listening to me have a conversation with myself, and you're just gonna happen to be blessed by it. Like, listen, we don't have time to be focusing on just making other people great. How about you start focusing on making sure you're great as well? How about we focus on making sure that we hit the goals, that we check off the list, that we hit the mark, that we make sure that we are just as bad to the bone as we're pushing others to be. Listen, I can be a king or queen maker all day long, but trust me, I'm going to be a king or queen maker behind the scenes. Understand that. And that is something that's not arrogance. That is not me being conceited. That is me talking to Tamika and saying, listen, you are just as good and great and amazing as those people that God sends to you. So at the end of the day, go and be great. And be confident in knowing that. I'm telling my son that to this day, and he has an intellectual mind that is absolutely freaking amazing. And I'm not saying that because he's my seed. I'm telling you that because God allowed me to tap into that young man's mind, and I'm blown away. But as I am talking to him, I am talking to myself, which allows me to talk to whomever is under the sound of my voice who cares to listen. So let me bless you. But I'm understanding as I'm talking to this amazing 10-year-old for him to understand what it is that he sees in people as well as what he sees in himself. We had a very distinctive conversation, even about his little cousin that he absolutely loves and cares about. But I told him, I said, just because you love and care about her does not mean she has to treat you any kind of way or talk to you any kind of way. Like, I don't care if she is 6. Love yourself enough to understand your boundaries. Just like you pour into her, pour into yourself. Hey, mommy, love yourself. Understand what it is that you see, and even the things that you do not see. Understand what you hear when people are talking and even when they don't. Like, I'm teaching him the balance of that. I know you like, Tamika, you teaching a 10-year-old these things because they're very important. And I'm going to tell you, it's starting to work. Because when he has, whether it's his cousin, and he showed it to me without him knowing, because I observed the situation, I saw how he is able to understand that the people that come into his life, or he interacts with, that their actions or behavior is based upon something that is going on in their life, and that he does not have to get upset or mad, but also understand to protect his feelings. I feel like I'm talking to somebody. So it's that balance of understanding who he is as an individual, okay, as a human being, him understanding who he is and understanding his worth, but also able to acknowledge in others what their struggles are, or like because like she said something that hurt his feelings, but once he realized, oh, I know what the underlying tone is, he was able to check it. That makes sense. Like, he was able to be like, you know what, I'm not going to hold this all the way against you, but I'm going to hold you accountable. Like, because I'm not just going to continue to just give you all this love in the world and not expect you to give it back to me. And I was like, wow, that is something on display. Like, you can't just love people and then not expect to get love back or look for it to come back to you. The same thing that we give to other people, we need to make sure that we're getting as well. And then don't be blocking it and stopping yourself from receiving it. Talking to Tamika, because I did it for years. And so what you have to understand is that we have to create balance in our life. In our lives, balance has to be there. And because you're impacting people, and because you are loving on people, and because of the things that you do for people, make sure you're creating that same space, if not more, for yourself. Thank you, Denise. I know, I feel like I know when I sometimes get gibberish, I know someone hears me. And so it's the beautiful thing of understanding that you have something amazing to do this week. And it has everything to do with you. I'm going to say that again. You have something amazing to accomplish this week, and it has everything to do with you. People are now just going to reap the benefits of it. You know how we used to go out? I'm going to talk about me. Go out and like, I'm going to help conquer the world, help do all these things, that, and the third. But I was doing it wrong, backwards. By help people and helping myself. No, that's backwards. I don't care what anybody said. And it's a matter of perspective. But what I did was I found out I cannot give anybody something that I have not given myself. The healing, the restoration, the love all starts with Tamika. People get the overflow of the loving of myself. I'm hitting on something. Do you see it? So if Denise loved Denise first, then the overflow of the love for herself will fall on Tamika. And I feel it every day, and I don't have to talk to her. Because Denise loves who she needs to love first, and that is herself. You matter just as much as anybody else to-do list or those things to do. It's not selfish of you to put who matters first. God, then everything else follows. We're not talking about just marriage, because I know it's the God, the husband, and the wife. We're not talking about that order of the household. We're talking about individuality. When you start your day, you're praying to God and allowing him to come into your day. So that is you saying, God, you are going to be the head of this day and I'm going to be second. Some people acknowledge God and then put other people in between, and then we're the next, person in line. And that is out of order. We can't do that. You're going to have to start making sure that you are doing things in order. You, the God, you, and then everything else, because Everything else is going to catch the overflow of what's coming out of you. This is why it's important that you understand what it is that you're going to accomplish today and those things that you're going to accomplish this week. It is very important to focus in, zero in on what is important. Who is important? You are. You are just as important as those things that you got to do at your job, those deadlines that you got to make. Absolutely. It's the hustle and bustle of life. But you got to make sure that you are in the forefront. You're just as important and you are just as needed. Healthy, focused, motivated, and ready to go. I know I said a lot. I know I said a lot. But I know who needed to hear it, got it. I know who needed to hold on to it, is holding on to it right now. For me, that is what's important. So, listen, go get things in order. It's time to put your foot in front of the other and go give them the business today. Motivated and focused on being great and amazing. Just how you make everyone else feel, you deserve to feel the same. No more making excuses. No more making excuses. It is only time for you to step out there every day. So, I pray that this helped. I pray that this did what it needed to do. I pray that what was needed you received, because for me, that is the most important thing. Because I'm going to tell you something, I got it. And I'm about to have, oh my gosh, amazing day. So I love you guys. I see you guys are just taking it in. I listen, I feel how people are just taking it in right now. And it's a lot. It's hard to hear, right? It's hard to hear when you're having to, you know what I'm saying, like hear that you got to do better when it comes to yourself, you know? But it's needed. And you're loved and you matter. You're very important to what it is that God wants you to do. You got to make sure that you're doing it in a healthy way where you're not depleting yourself. Denise, sis, you're absolutely welcome. Absolutely welcome. We need each other, but we can only, you know what I'm saying, like hold each other up when we're like healthy and in good spaces and ready to go. So, what are you going to focus on today? That involves you. What are you going to do today, Vanessa, that involves you? What are you going to do today that you can stand back and be like, I did that for me? We love the fact that we can take care of the people that are around us, but what are we going to focus on that we can say, I did that for me? Whether it's you laid out the business plan, whether it's you doing research for that idea that God gave you, whether you got to carve out that time for you to hit the mark. If it's a book that you've been wanting to read, but you haven't had time, listen, read the introduction. You got to start somewhere. You matter, and it's time to go. So, what's your question? What are we doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? All right, you got your Monday push. So go do. Go do. Go be great. And I cannot wait to hear all about it. I cannot wait to hear what comes out of, this right here. The fact that you made this decision. Like, yeah, I got this. Mel said, I don't know if she's still here. She said, okay, stop fussing at me. Hey, I'm not fussing. It's just a little pricking of the spirit, I guess. Anyway, babies, I love you guys. Please know that God loves you so much more. Take this thing, own it, digest it, but let it motivate you and push you, because that's what it's about. Mondays, push. All right, you guys. I hope to hear you. You hear me, or you know how this thing goes. You get to see me soon. Go have a great Monday, people.